What is up, everybody? It is time to take your ticket to reality, cash it in, because we are talking about the first 4 episodes of The Circle. It's finally time. Our flagship show, the show that brought us all together, the show we got a co-host who was a finalist of, is finally back. And I'm ready to talk about it with my friends. My name is TJ Zwarich. You're listening to the Ticket to Reality podcast. I'm joined by the aforementioned finalist himself, Lee Swift. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. And I am ready to break down these 4 episodes. They did not displease me at all. I was thrilled with every single one of them. And I already have some favorite cast members. Should I say that? But yes, I already have some favorites.
I do too. There's no way we're going to be able to keep this in. One of our other co-hosts today, Ryan Cortero, who I recorded with earlier today with another former contestant from The Circle, Michelle Ryder, and Shelly Belly Comedy, Mama Michelle. Ruben, I believe you're going to have to mute because the live feed is going crazy right now, and I'm hearing a wild echo. But until then,
there we go.
There we go. It's gone. Where was I? We recorded with Michelle earlier. That episode will be dropping on the Ticket to Reality podcast feed, available wherever you get your podcasts tomorrow, Wednesday, as well as this one. So make sure you check that one out. And Ryan, we had a good chat with Michelle today.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It's nice to talk to Mama Michelle, and from the last time everyone talked to her on the podcast, it was a riot, and it was the same thing here.
It worked out so perfectly how the last time we had Michelle on the Ticket to Reality podcast, you and I weren't there. It was Garrett Lee and Emma, and you and I didn't get a chance to talk with her, so it was so awesome that we got to link up with her. We've had so many awesome past Circle guests on. For those of you who are tuning in for the first time, we've had both the Saints, Delisa and Trevor, former winner Delisa herself, another former winner, James, from season 3. We had Jack. We got a whole bunch of different Circle members on here. But one of the previously mentioned interviewees the last time Michelle was on, a co-host who never takes a day off, unlike Ryan and I here at Ticket to Reality, it's Emma.
Hi. So glad to be here. I just caught up today, so everything should be fresh in my mind. Should be. And I'm ready to get into it.
I had to pump you up a little extra there, not to accidentally bring Ryan and myself down, but just since you got the cold and you're here with us anyways, you're trucking through, so had to pump you up. Lee, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Before we get, it was really just last week when we recorded, but before we get into these first 4 episodes, what have you been up to, and what do you think of season 5 so far?
I'm not as fresh as Emma because I watched it Wednesday. It dropped at, I think, 2 a.m. my time, and I got up and I was drinking coffee. I did a post with my feet, and I watched all 4 episodes in the middle of the night. I'm not
with
fresh.
his feet.
With my feet, yes. So
We're covering this from all angles. I watched it on Friday. Emma just finished it. We got the absolute first look. We got you covered here.
We got it covered. Well, I first want to say that Michelle, the host, is amazing as always. She just blows me away. I think she brings such great energy to the show, and I just love her. She's amazing, and she's going to bring us a lot more in the episodes to come, but I love her little snarky comments every time they do something, so I love it. Love it.
Her comments make my day every time. And she honestly, like, this season, she's been especially hilarious. Like, I'm just sitting here laughing every episode because of her.
This has been, in my opinion, her best performance to date.
Awesome. I love when she's ragging on the other comedian.
So great.
I just like when she said titties looking like, to be a little titties looking like an ass crack. I lost it. I absolutely lost it. But a little preview both to Mama Michelle chatting about titties and also making fun of the comedian on the show. That was a very large portion of our show today with Michelle Ryder. That will of course be releasing tomorrow. Let's just dive into it, because Em and I were talking, or no, was it Ryan and I talking about this? I can't remember. I brought it up with somebody who was within the Agents of Fandom, who obviously also loves Lee, and we were saying, obviously season 2's got a special place in our heart. Season 1 was an absolute banger, but this season 5, first 4 episodes are shaping up to look like it. This could be the top season so far.
Yeah.
It could be. The problem I have, kind of like Sam in the tub doing angels in her own. Sorry. I hope I can remember everything, because I was early in the morning. Anyway, I just had to say that. But go. What's your first impressions? That's what I want to know. I got TJ.
I think
that's TJ's first impressions. What's everybody else's?
After your first impression of the show as a whole, I want to start it off too. Hit me with your favorites, your favorite contestants. We got introduced to 8 off the bat. 2 got sent home. Spoilers for the first 4 episodes of The Circle, of course, by the way. If you haven't watched it, take a break on this one. You can watch our Circle Primer episode, fully spoiler-free, that released last week. But give me your favorites as well. We had 2 people gone. They came back as another person. We get our little comedian friend in there as well. And then, of course, it ends with our friend Shubham being introduced right at the end. I'm so excited to watch him tomorrow. Ryan, give me your first impression of the season, and who are your favorites?
Yeah, no, this season has been, really fun. I think it's also just because it's my first time watching these episodes live as they come out, and it's just this amazing feeling being part of this Circle community online. It's been fun. It's hard. Like, the cast has just been great. Like, I don't really have a problem with any of the cast members. Everyone has their own unique, they bring something unique to the show, and it's just really nice to see that. And it's just funny. I think my favorites so far obviously are Raven, Sam, and Chaz. Those are my top 3 for sure. I'm rooting for any one of them to win the Circle this season.
Okay,
that's the same big 3 I have. How about you, Emma?
Yeah, I have the same 3. Raven, especially, she's from Maryland, so that's obviously special for me. And I just love that she's the first deaf contestant, and I feel like I'm learning some ASL. I've been wanting to learn ASL for a long time, and just kind of seeing her repeat some of the signs, and then Paris, the interpreter. So I'm starting to get some of it. I think it's really great. But she's definitely my favorite. Chaz and Sam. Sam has me absolutely rolling on the floor laughing every single episode. But so far, honestly, I've just absolutely loved this season. I think just the first 4 episodes were perfect. There was enough drama. There's been enough poignant moments, a lot of laughs. And honestly, I pretty much like everyone. I do kind of, since I really liked how they did it, and I think it was season 2 also. I'm getting all of them mixed up. But when Lisa and Jack were brought back as one, that was season 2, were brought back, I love how they did it again this season. But Brett, I'm willing to be proven wrong, but Brett's not exactly my favorite right now. He didn't really leave me with the best first impression, so we'll see. But so far, I'm just absolutely loving it. I've just thoroughly enjoyed watching it, and I can't wait to see more, especially to see Shuby, because he was a season 1 favorite for me.
Well, that's my favorite is Shubham. I'm sorry, all of them. I want him to win. Period. With a T.
I'm on the same page as both Ryan and Emma, with those 3 being my top 3, and Brett kind of rubbing me the wrong way, but Michelle did bring up some very good points with his performance so far, so make sure you stay tuned to that as well. Lee, you kind of got to watch what you say, because you're gonna probably meet all, if not most, of these people at some point in your life, and so you can't just be like, I hate this one, I hate this one. But give me your kind of breakdown of who some of your favorites were, obviously outside of Shubham, who is your current friend, and hopefully our friend's here soon, joining us in a few weeks when he's allowed to talk more about this. Who do you like, and who are you not impressed with?
You're absolutely right. I hope to meet all of them. I think they're all fascinating. I think casting, props to Aaron and all the people that are part of casting for the Circle, did an amazing job.
Props to Aaron, because recent fan of the Ticket to Reality podcast, posting on our stuff. If you're hearing this, Aaron, shout out to you. We love you.
You know, we should get her on. That'd be. I'll reach out to her and we'll get her on, because she could talk about how to get cast on a reality TV show. It was so cool. It was very, for me, watching them walk into the apartments. I always try to guess who has my apartment that I was in.
Oh yeah.
And I couldn't figure it out this time, because they always redecorate it, but I remember that excitement of walking in and you're going, and everybody, I know people think, oh, that's all staged. No, you're so jazzed. They build you up before you walk in, and then you go in and you go, this is real. I'm here. So it's pretty amazing. I'll tell you, Brett, I actually like him. I like Brett. I think he's sort of, okay, I'm going to say this, Brett, if you ever watch this, he's the douchebag you kind of like,
Is he though?
No, I think
that's what Joey is.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm waiting to see if
and
he's
to be fair, no,
become
he's not.
Joey.
That's what I thought Joey is. That's what I thought Joey was.
Fair.
But then he did end up being that.
And he and Xanthi, you might see them go on we might fall in love with them, because I was kind of getting into their duo, and I
like them together more than I liked them separately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In reality, I would love Jennifer, the character they're playing.
Yeah,
here's my thing with them. Something that is great about recording these podcasts. We got Ruben in the background, who is the best producer in the game, and when one of us is a little loud, the other one's a little quiet, he can put our mics down or put our mics up a little bit. I wish the Circle producers would do that with Brett and Xanthi, where Xanthi's just always yelling at me, and I'll back up so it's not as loud, but she's always yelling at me, and I feel like I gotta turn the volume down. And then Brett comes in quietly because he's pissed off that they got blocked, and I can barely hear what he's saying in comparison. And so I think they do work well as a team, because she's always like gung-ho, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna do, and he's just like, no.
Okay,
no. Yeah,
I'm gonna just put it out there, because this is what I've been thinking. Are we gonna have a little Too Hot to Handle with Xanthi and Brett?
That's what I was thinking when they moved in together.
Yeah, I was wondering that too.
When they were in that hot tub, I just was like, what show am I watching?
Yeah.
It's like, this is bringing me back to last week when I watched Too Hot to Handle.
I think it'd be good. I think that'd be fun to see, because it'd be a little sideline storyline we could see, and then them fighting in there. It would be fun. I'm just saying things that I hope. I like Chaz. I really like him a lot. He's a good
While
player.
we're on the topic of Brett, before we move on,
yes,
Lee, the gateway's been opened.
Yeah,
just from the reverse, the door's been opened.
Yeah.
Big Brother to the Circle.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Taking all of our ideas before we
Brett, of course, Brett, of course, was on Big Brother. Lee, of course, and now is on the Circle. Lee wants to be on Big Brother, and of course, was on the Circle. The first transition has been made in reverse. It's your time to make it happen in this direction.
All right. There's somebody needs to. Yeah, I think that'd be a good. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Brett. Thanks for,
for proving that our theory.
Well, has he proven it? Let's just see how he does.
We'll see.
We got more episodes to go.
Yeah, we'll see. I will say I really like their strategy together. Like I said, I like them both together more than separate, but I think they're doing a good job, honestly, as Jennifer.
Yeah, I think so too. I think as far as gameplay, I think that duo, they have an advantage. They got to lurk. And let's just say goodbye. The ones who got voted off. The dad. I'm sorry. He just. Yeah. I liked him as a person a lot. I mean, I really did. I actually thought he should have come in as himself.
Yeah.
Because I think he couldn't. He couldn't play the other. And then who was the other person that got voted off? I'm trying to remember.
Well, the dad's still Michelle. Like, he's still there technically, is he not?
No, he left right at the end of the last
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he
My
went to talk
memory
to
is so bad.
Raven.
He
No, me
went to talk
too.
to Raven, and they had
Right.
a-
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And I'm playing for my daughter. Right.
Oh, that's
Yes. And
right.
it was Bruno's who didn't get voted off.
Yeah,
I was thinking
it
for
was
some
right.
reason in my head just now that it was Bruno.
Yeah. But I'm digging it. I really like I like Raven so much. I mean, if anybody's competing for my heart, and little known fact, I used to interpret ASL for church services when I was a kid. So I'm rusty,
so
but
cool.
I remember it. So but she has my heart. And Paris, her interpreter, I love him so much.
I love Paris.
I mean, he is so. When he fell on the floor, when he saw, I was like,
so funny.
"Oh yes, let's have a little gay
This-
pride in the." I was so for it, and I love how much Raven and Marvin are. There's definitely this energy, so I'm digging everything. I'm keep feeding it to me. I'll keep eating it because I love it.
I love the chemistry between Raven and Paris. It's so incredible. It's so fun that they're just the best of friends. But also, this is something we talked about with Michelle as well, is kudos to the producers because they're doing such a great job balancing. Well, Raven is the contestant. She is the one we're focusing on here. This is her kind of limelight. But still showing the importance of Paris being there and showing his funny clips, but not focusing too much kind of there. And I just thought they're doing a really great job of balancing that kind of house and where they're giving the exposure, still kind of showing that even though Paris is so wildly witty, well, this is Raven who is the contestant and making sure she gets her limelight. And it's like you said, Lee, she's competing for our hearts. I fell in love with her as well. Talk to me about Chaz because he is just so much fun.
I like his energy. I mean, he's of course he's a gay guy, so they have a soft part. I'm LGBTQ plus always, so I'm for him.
What?
But yeah. But I think he's bringing a kind of sort of a lovable, snarky kind of, a little edgy sometimes. And then, his heart breaks. Oh, I feel for him. So I like his gameplay. I think he can be ruthless, but also sensitive. So I'm for him. I'm for him a lot. I think this trio with him and Raven and Marvin is a pretty strong trio. We'll see how far it goes, but to me, I was like, it was reminding me of the Kardashians, it's all of a sudden, ooh, here we go. So anyway, that's my thing. I like him. But I'm Shuby. I'm sorry. It's because I know him personally. And I want him to come in and crush them all into little dust.
As we see in the trailers, things get spicy in the next 4 episodes. It looks like things are turning from Big Circle Fam to maybe a few alliances competing against each other. Emma, talk to me about Sam because she's also one of my favorites. And I don't know that I'm cheering for her to win, but I do know that I want to be her friend. Like, I think like Raven, Chaz, Shoebomb are still my top 3 of who I want to win. But I think Sam might be like number 1 as to who I would want to be friends with in real life because she is hilarious.
I completely agree. I think she's going to go fairly far because I think kind of like Shuby at the beginning of his season, he was ranked last and then he worked his way back up. I think Sam is putting in the work to get herself back up there and she's making some good alliances. I don't think she's going to win either, but I absolutely want to be friends with her. Like, she seriously has me laughing every single episode when I forget who exactly it was that was sharing like the emotional story. And then she was like, oh wow, that was like an emotional thing. And here I was going to talk about like the angel incident. And I was like laughing so hard because I'm like, yeah, that's about right. And she's just hilarious. And like everything that comes out of her mouth is just funny. So I would absolutely love to be friends with her. I think we should get her on after the season so that we can be friends.
Little known fact: I talked to Delisa after I watched that, and Sam is her favorite. She loves Sam.
Yeah.
Of course,
I knew
she
it. I
being
mean,
New
that
Yorker.
New York
fair.
connection, right?
Oh, yeah.
That New York
Yeah.
connection.
And
We
New
were
York.
talking
also,
about-
my brother, who's apparently in the chat. He lives in New York, so there's a nice Brooklyn
go.
shout out.
Hey, Brooklyn.
I was talking to Delise on Twitter as well, and we were just like, "Are you what? You told us that? Like you brought that up on TV unprovoked? Like the FBI is not getting that out of me, and you just brought it up completely unprovoked." And it was so funny because at the moment that you and I were texting about it, Lee, that was the exact moment that Delisa tweeted about it, and I was like, "What? We were just talking about this!" Like, oh my goodness, that was so hilarious.
Yeah.
After the first blocking occurred, and or I guess the first two, we got Xanthi gone and Brett gone. They obviously came back to the same character, but Ryan, we talked a little bit about this with Michelle. How are we going to be rooting for a dude to win 100K who lives currently in a castle?
Oh yeah, Tom. Yes, hashtag
Oh my
Toodle
God.
Pip. Yeah, Tom. You know, like it's hard. Like I have no idea what his motives are. I mean, he's a comedian, sure, but like, yeah, he lives in the Tower of London, which some people don't know is a thing, or Marvin thinks it's a Disney movie or something. But but yeah, it's just weird. Like I hope we get to learn more about Tom, because right now he is just providing the comedy a little bit, and yeah, I just want to know a little bit more. I want him to open up a little bit more, because right now his only real alliance is with Jennifer, aka Brett and Xanthi, but I think his gameplay isn't as strong as it could be. I think he can make more connections and open up to other people. But yeah, I really want to know more about Tom's reason for being on the show.
Yeah, I think he's really focused on Jennifer and like his alliance with Jennifer. I'm like, there are other people here. But yeah, it was funny because I mean I've been to the Tower of London just as like a tourist, but I don't know you could actually live in there. Like, I'm sorry to my UK friends if that's
Is
like
it a
common knowledge, but I
ride?
didn't know.
Is,
Right.
is it like the Tower of Terror at Disneyland?
That was just broken.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
did Tom say I did again, it was last week. And again, I'll have to have coffee tonight because I'll probably get up at 2 a.m. and start watching it. But did Tom say that if a lot of people died, he could become the heir apparent? Did he say
Yeah,
that?
he definitely.
I think so,
he
yeah,
definitely said
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, okay,
King,
all right.
King Tom, baby.
Yeah, maybe that's his like marketing for himself. That's maybe his motive. Eventually, he's like, yeah, I might get there eventually. So
He's hoping
Gotta-
Meghan Markle and Harry destroy the whole dynasty, and he gets in there. Okay,
exactly.
I'm for King Tom.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Anyway,
Comedian as
I
the
like
king.
I like him. And what about
What's his title? Royal Jester?
probably that's funny.
I'm a comedian. I do my best to make the late. I did my best to make the late queen and the princes laugh at their dinners.
Yeah, exactly. It's his claim to fame.
Well, let's talk about Bruno. You know that girl.
Oh, we don't talk about Bruno.
Oh,
Boo.
okay, we're not allowed to talk about Bruno.
Okay, just a quick Encanto reference. You've seen Encanto, right? Come
I
on.
have, but I totally
Please don't
went over my head.
Bruno. Okay, talk about Bruno.
That was good. It was good. No, what do you? I
It
mean,
was our wedding day. Sorry.
Oh, comes a karaoke session.
Yeah, some of us do still listen to it just about every day, almost a year later.
I love it. No, she grew on me. I'll be honest. She started off, but I was like, I'm not really. And then she had sort of that moment, and I was like, okay, I can understand that. You know, she said she didn't like herself. I really, that moment was her shining moment of the 4 episodes to me.
Yeah, and
I
it made
agree.
me wish that she did come as herself. I feel like, in her intro she said, models are overlooked sometimes. People focus on like if you hear someone's a model, like you think, oh, they're all about the looks, they're all about the glamour. But I think, she, with that last episode where she had that moment of opening up, I think, you know, she has something to prove, and I think if she can do that as herself, that would be, you know, like a really big moment for her to show that like she can be herself and people can accept her. I you know, I hope she can blend that into her gameplay, because she said that Bruno is a model himself. So I think if she can work in that connection a little bit more, like it'll really help her, you know, make those connections and have people see who she is herself, who Billie Jean is.
Who was it? I believe it happened in season 1, unless I'm just fever dreaming this, that came in as a catfish and pivoted partway through the game.
Yeah, that was. I want to say her name was
Sean.
Sean. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
It was
she
Sean.
was wonderful.
Beautiful.
That's what I think
girl.
should be done here too.
Yeah,
I think the
Oh.
game would be far improved. I think the trust would improve. I think the amount of connections she'd have would improve. I just feel like she came in with the whole mindset that Ryan said of like,
Mhm.
they want people to see model and just see looks and nothing else. But that's all she's giving with Bruno. I don't think that's all she is, but I think that's all Bruno is. Not the real Bruno, but the profile Bruno. Like, there's not a lot of substance there behind just like trying to play the game right. And I think until she had that conversation with Chaz, and so that's why I would kind of like to see that catfish veil say, I'm going to take my L on this one and hope it works well in my future here, because I agree with you, Ryan, that I think she would have, if she came in playing herself, she'd be rolling a much better game right now.
Well, Catfish 101, I don't think any of them are doing very well, the catfish, to be honest. And I not that I'm the best catfish, you know, but I did make it. I have a very good friend who did really well, the best catfish there is, Elisa. But she and I have talked about it. And part of the problem, I think, that they're very two-dimensional and they're so guarded that they're going to mess up. The only catfish that's doing well is Jennifer right now, because they came in as themselves and now they had to pivot, which I think happened with Jack and Lisa in my season, and they pivoted so well and made it all the way to the finale. I think Jennifer's got a chance, you know, with Xanthi and Brett, but you have to have a little of yourself come through, no matter what catfish you are. And you have to, and if you're not going to do that, then fabricate real moments, because you know, if you don't, they're going to suss you out for sure.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Lee, and that's where I think Xanthi and Brett will fall short here. With Danielle's a great character, they built a great profile, but when you're catfishing, you need more than the profile. Delisa had that with her husband. You had that with your friend River, but also infusing yourself.
Yeah.
What they're missing is either the infusing themselves or the stories. Shout out to my wife Ava in chat right now, because she brought up a great point. They were saying, like, if I'm talking about, if I'm Brett or I'm Xanthi, as soon as we're linked backed up together, okay, when did we get divorced? How many kids did we have? How long were we married? When did this happen? When did this happen? You need a backstory. And I thought they brought up a great point when we were talking about that, because you can't have just the profile, because you're going to get into a private chat or a group chat where one of the people are going to go, well, wait, that's not what you said before. Or, well, wait, you're really just giving me nothing. And that's where I feel like the current catfishes are screwing up, where you excelled, Lee, where Delisa excelled, where Trevor excelled. I'm not just my profile. I'm playing this person, and this person is not two-dimensional. They're three-dimensional, like a real human being. And yeah.
My only concern for Jennifer, because I agree with you, they've got to come up with some stories. But the other thing is, coming in so strong as a cougar, I'm afraid that may backfire. What do you guys think? Do you agree with me? I'm concerned about that strategy.
I think it could backfire at some point. I think like we were saying before, like Tom is just so focused on Jennifer, and I think maybe people will only see that angle of her and not really, I don't know, that's kind of like her entire thing. So I could see that and like losing steam at some point, and her having to peel back the layers, and you know, they're gonna have to get some real stories, and really give her some more like character building, I guess. So I agree.
I agree with you, Ava. 100%.
I agree too.
I have some games that I want to play with you all because you know I like games, we all like games, and the circle likes games, and it's one of the things that makes it such a great reality TV show. So, before we get into this, one by one, you are one of the original 8. Who would you be blocking out of that crew? Ryan, I'm throwing this to you first because I already asked this to Michelle, so you know it's coming. So at least your subconscious had some time to think about it.
Yeah. Oh god. I already feel like the contestants. Oh my god, who am I blocking? Oh man.
And don't forget, check out the Ticket to Reality podcast anywhere you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, and it'll be up on YouTube on Wednesday as well to hear who Michelle would have blocked because it's not who you think.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. If I'm going for the 8, for one of the 8, I'm part of that 8, and I'm trying to go for someone who's a threat to me. I feel like I would say probably Chaz or Marvin. I would probably block. I feel like Chaz has a well-rounded personality that, everyone seems to like, and I think thinking about the connections that he has, I think a lot of other people who he doesn't have that strong of a connection with will also see him as a threat. And we'll have the numbers to kind of rank him low, get him blocked. So yeah, I think actually, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna lean more towards Chaz because Marvin has been kind of in the middle. And I think by blocking Chaz right from the get-go, I think that'll be a great way to kind of shake things up a bit.
Emma, how about you?
I mean, my first instinct was to say Brett too, just because he rubs me the wrong way. But if we're thinking strategy, I'd probably agree with Ryan and go with Chaz because it seemed like he out of the gate really like asserted himself as a front runner. And of course, you want to kind of get those threats out early if you can. Yeah, I don't know. I always think when I'm watching this, I'm like, what would I do in that situation? And I just don't know. It's just impossible because I don't know how they. I know everybody. You're playing the game and you're chatting with people, but it's easy to see kind of from an outside perspective when you're watching each person play their game. But if you're in the game, you're just kind of going based off of messages. So it could be entirely different if I was actually playing the game. But I would probably go with Chaz as well.
Another
Even
great
though I
point
love
in
him.
chat. Chaz, yeah, exactly. It's another great point in chat. Chaz and Raven are clearly dangerous because, especially at the start of a game, have we ever seen somebody debut, not just one person, but 2 people debut influencers the first 2 weeks in a row? Like, think of how often we've looked back and thought, oh, this person was the influencer, and the next week they're last. They're second last because people immediately view them as a threat and so bop them to the bottom of the list. Well, people saw them as a threat and went, well, I still like them so much. They're still at the top of my list. So that's a very similar perspective to Michelle's. Not the same blocked person, but a very similar perspective of gameplay. Lee, I want you to answer last because you've been in this position, and not just once, but lots of times. Like, who am I ranking? Who am I blocking? How do I want to set this up? So I not only want to know who you'd pick, but what you kind of think of each of our strategies. I would block Brett. Why? Because I would felt like I had the least connection to what Brett was saying, and obviously I don't know Brett as well if I'm playing the game as I do watching it, but I kind of want to root out the little bit of misogyny that's in there. I want to build bonds. I want to build teammates. I want to build an alliance. This is still week 1. I think I am a threat. And so I'm okay with other threats being in the game as long as they're on my team. And so I feel like I'd want to be friends with Raven. I'd want to be friends with Chaz. And if they're powerful, just make sure I'm on their good side so that similar to like how Joey was, Shoe Bomb and Sam's getting all of it, and Seaburn as Rebecca getting all this, love throughout the show, and then Joey, who's just kind of always in second, always in third, ends up coming in and winning. And that's kind of how I'd want to go about it too. And so I would actually get rid of the one, even though it's not round one necessarily very strategic. I'd get rid of the one I felt the least connection to, because I want to be building up my circle squad for the finale, because to win I need votes. What do you think, Lee?
I think you all have great strategies. I will tell you this: whenever it was ranking time, that's when my heart rate would speed up. It's like, oh no, what do I know? And exactly what Emma said. You're going off of all these chats, and you're like, who are they talking to? And am I reading the tea leaves right? You know, but I would honestly, depending, it all depends on the chats. Exactly what Emma said, but. To me, the target is Raven. Raven will win this game if she makes it to the final table. I believe that. And now my strategy would be exactly what you said, TJ, is I would build a squad, and I would never be the number one on that squad, because I want them to be the target if our side gets in bad shape, and I'm just the number two. So, that's fine, or number three, whatever. That would be my strategy. But if I was thinking strictly strategy, I would take out Raven, because she's so damn lovable. And I'd probably try to rope in Sam to be part of an alliance, because I think she's going to be under the radar. If I can get a Sam Chaz alliance, then I think I have a chance to the finale. But of course, Shoebomb's going to crush them all. I'm just telling you, he's going to crush them all.
Here's my other thing too, and obviously this could potentially be something that was figured out by other contestants down the line, but from us watching it, I would definitely want to keep Chaz as my best friend, just based on how that last block went. He got his way. He fought for his person, and he won over Raven. So that would immediately make me go, okay, that's the person I want on my squad, because I know how hard he fought for someone he just aligned with an hour ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But obviously you don't know that when you are in the show. All right. Once I got a few more games for us here, and the first one is the first circle game they rolled with in these episodes here. Our first circle game of 2023. Technically, it still happened in 2022, but that's okay. Lee, I'm throwing this to you first. Would you describe yourself as a leader, a people pleaser, a lone wolf, or a team player?
Yes.
All of the above.
I'm probably on that. A people pleaser probably would be where I am the most. But I have traits of all of that. But I did love that game, by the way. I thought that was fun when they rolled that out. It kind of was a little spice in there, but fun to get to know them as an audience, and they get to know each other. So, how about yourself, TJ? You're running the game. I'm going to throw it back to you.
I'll say leader, because I feel like that fits a lot of what my best traits are, what I'm good at. But my ego inside of me is always telling me that I want to just simply have no responsibility and just be a little bit of a people pleaser. Come in with some surprises to make people happy, have them not expect anything of me, so I can come in and just bring joys to their life unexpected, and then crawl back into my little hole the rest of the time. So I feel like leader I want to be, and when I'm at my best, that's what I am. But other times it's like, just leave me be, and I'll come help you when I feel like it.
Almost a lone wolf. There you go. I like it.
But I need my people. I need my squad. You know what I mean? Like, I need as long as I have my wolf pack, then I'm good. I don't need it to be a big pack, but I do need a pack. And I got this Agents of Fandom Ticket to Reality pack right here, and I love you all. Emma, how about you?
I'm probably the same. I would like to say I'm a leader in some aspects, but it has to be a very specific thing that I'm confident in, and that's not many things. So probably more likely a team player and a people pleaser. But I think everything kind of serves its purpose. I wouldn't say I'm a lone wolf either, because I do like being alone sometimes, but I need my people as well. So yeah, I would say mostly team player, people pleaser, but we're working on getting the confidence back up at some point.
Cool.
We'll
And
see.
Ryan, what about you, lone wolf?
Yeah, just me off to the side here. Yeah, I would definitely say team player. You know, yeah, again just relating that back to the Agents of Fandom, being part of this team. I love helping out the team and supporting wherever I can. People pleaser in terms of, like, I think as Ava just mentioned in the chat, like, people saying that you're a people pleaser in a game like The Circle, it's you're not gonna get on the right foot with a lot of people because no one will understand your true intentions after that. And I'm surprised and I'm glad that no one actually chose that.
Because it can
when
be
they did
taken one of two ways, right?
Mhm.
It's either
Mhm.
I will say anything to make people happy, or I just like making people happy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It could be a positive or a negative depending on how you take it.
Sure could.
Absolutely.
That's right. Okay, I have one question, and this is for the chat too. Of the 4 people here, we're in the final.
Oh God.
Who do you block?
Oh.
Who do you rank lowest? I
Reckless.
because 1, 2, and 3, and I'm ranking TJ lowest because I think being that leader thing, I want him down. Okay, so Emma, who do you
Garrett's not here, so
Garrett
in
would
that
be your last one if
circumstance,
he
you
was
would
here.
be the last.
Yeah.
Oh, you're asking me who I would rank the lowest here?
And I want the chat people to say who they'd block too. Go,
Man.
Emma.
Okay, let's think like gameplay.
Wow. Why do I feel like I'm on the show?
I'm just gonna say, if Ava blocks me, we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I'm seeing if my brother would block me. He probably would.
Gameplay. This is what it's like. I'm telling you.
It is. That's fair.
$100,000 is on the line.
Ava's gonna suggest blocking me too, because I was saying, like, I like Joey's strategy. You always hang number 2, and then you pop up. Like, that's me in board games, and she's always sitting there like, don't let him tell you he's not a threat. He always wins. And they're always adamant that, like, you can't let him don't let him fool you. And they're telling everybody else that, and I'm just like, no, like, it's not me, guys.
No.
This person's winning. Go at them.
Yeah. I think. Yeah, I would go probably. Well, okay. So I love you, Lee, but I'd probably go either TJ or Lee, just because Lee, I know you play the game really well. We've seen that. We have evidence of it. But at the same time, if I'm gonna have to, I'd probably go TJ. And then
Smart.
Lee and Ryan, I feel like would be we'd be a good alliance. I'm sorry, TJ.
I do. The Kardashians. We're taking TJ out.
I mean,
I love it.
And then my brother obviously just said I've been blocked, so that's fair. I get that.
Ryan, who are you going for, man?
I mean, what? Let's just add on to the pile here. Sorry, Lee. I think I'm gonna have to block you. You're just too good at this game. You're just so good.
I didn't win.
I knew I could.
You could.
You guys can't flip Ryan. We're a squad.
God, I feel like I'm in the middle of 2 alliances right now.
And Ryan wins the money.
Ryan's so good. Ryan would win. Exactly. Ryan is so locked in and good at being a team player that he's also a leader, because although he doesn't speak much, he's the type that, like, if you're a coach, you give him a C or the A, because he's busy leading by example, and you're like, wow, how on earth is this happening? He's the best. And so I that one fits both of him as well, and he's on my alliance, and we're gonna split money.
Emma, we're in trouble.
What's your signature dance move? And if you don't know, you can bring in Steven. You can bring in Steven to let us know what he thinks. But is it twerking? No. Is it the robot? Is it a strip tease? Or you don't dance? And I'm not gonna let you say I don't dance, because I know about all the Lee has 2 podcasts. One of them is Ticket to Reality. We're here. We're talking about The Circle. The other one, Romance Out Loud, where he's talking about gay romance. So if you think for a second that there's not a little strip tease in there, I don't think.
That's it. I mean, that's absolutely it. I've taught so many people how to use the pole. Enough said.
Not enough said. I need some elaboration.
No, that's it. That's all you get. The rest is behind the veil. If you want to get my OnlyFans, no, just kidding.
Subscribe to Ticket to Reality wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe to Romance Out Loud wherever you get your podcast. Not part of the Agents of Fandom network podcast network yet, but you never know down the line. We'll see.
There you go.
Emma, how about you?
Probably a little bit of everything, just very badly. I can't really dance well, but I would attempt all of it.
Give me the robot right now.
I'm gonna have to pass on that one.
I asked Michelle to
like,
twerk. I asked
I don't know.
for a swip tease. I asked. There it is. There's the robot.
Yeah.
That's about all I could do.
Ryan, how about you?
Oh, I mean, sober. I don't dance. Get a couple drinks in me. I will recreate the Tom Holland umbrella dance.
No, that is
Sweet.
good. Yeah, I'm gonna need that
Amazing.
now.
Yeah, just a little, alcohol, liquid courage.
My toxic trait is
Agents
thinking
of
I could
Fandom.
just do that without practicing at all. But
Agents of Fandom
Except-
staff party preview.
Oh.
Ryan doing Tom Holland's umbrella dance. Would you rather be, now this blew my mind that anybody picked anything other than the one, but would you rather be powerful, popular, successful, or happy?
happy is
Happy.
like obvious.
Happy.
You can't have
None
anything
of them matters
else.
if you're not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about being successful if I'm not happy. with
I mean,
what I'm
really,
doing.
being weak, unsuccessful, and happy. Why not?
I mean, if it makes you happy, then I'm good there.
I'm unpopular. Yeah, okay. No,
I'm out here quite literally living my dream, running a movie and TV outlet and writing about fantasy sports for a living, and still need therapy to teach me how to be happy. So much more important.
Absolutely.
Just like therapy, everyone go to therapy.
Agreed.
Yep.
Final
I
one.
agree.
Have you never cheated in a relationship?
Have you-
Cheated once or twice? Cheated
yeah, I
more
forgot
than
about that one.
twice? Or would you prefer not to say? Now, we're all friends here. If you prefer not to say, it is what it is. I respect the honesty of the two people who did. I hate that it got thrown back in Raven's face because she explained it to us. She was like, yeah, it was high school and a bad relationship. Haven't done it since, though. You can blame somebody for something they did when they were 15, 16 years old, and she still got it thrown in her face. Lee, what do you got for us?
And she got ranked number 1. So did it really matter? I'm just saying it didn't.
If that didn't happen, I wonder if she still gets ranked number 1, because if she doesn't get knocked down a peg, maybe people do it with the ratings.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's true. I'm going on record for never cheated. Steven, are you? No, never cheated. Never cheated. Just kidding. But I thought that was fun, but I don't think it really impacted the game that much. The anonymous stuff, that's a little stronger, but I didn't think that mattered that much, because in reality, everybody, if you're not cheating on your current person, then that's all that matters. You may have had losers, whatever. I don't know. And high school, what am I saying? I'm just babbling. Where's my poll? I'll do your striptease right now.
Oh, fantastic.
I'm sweating.
Fantastic.
Go,
Lee,
go.
the one that I've been most excited to get from you is the Talk Flirty to Me game.
Oh, I want to just
Now,
go
I
on
wanna
record
know-
also that I have never cheated, because
Oh,
Chris
same.
was.
So yes,
I've never cheated.
yes, right, Emma. Of course, sorry. I apologize. I wasn't just trying to get that out of Lee and then omit you guys.
Wow.
But two people with everyone on this podcast has a very long-term partner, so we're all just
Yes.
like, I haven't. Just
Like, I
so you know.
Just saying. Not that we're trying to avoid the question.
Just putting that out there.
Again, I'm blocking TJ.
You can't. I run your socials with you.
That's a good point.
I'll unblock me immediately.
Oh, true,
Oh.
true.
That's right,
Lee, this is
that's
the
right.
one I've been most excited to
Oh,
get
no,
from you
I'm
as a
scared.
writer, as someone who's hilarious, and not just
Oh,
a writer,
no.
but a writer of
Oh,
romance.
the flirt.
Talk
yeah, but-
flirty to me, Lee. Tell me your best
No.
pickup line.
No. Oh no.
Tell me how they did
No.
it in 1978.
That seemed pointed.
Wow. Wow. Ageism meets ticket to reality. Okay.
I
just like-
accidentally, indirectly called Michelle old earlier by calling
Oh.
not Michelle, like not her, but I was just like I described. Oh my gosh, what is
Brian.
Brian? I described Brian as, like he describes himself as an old man in the game, and so that's how
Oh,
I
yeah.
described him. And she was like, "Watch it."
He also called
That
me
was
old
good.
from the Agents of Fandom official account as well. So his definition of old is a little skewed, I would say.
Okay.
Sorry,
so I'm
in 1995, when you were 18 years old, Lee, what pickup lines were you using?
Okay, here we go. I'm using chat OpenAI. Do you have a Band-Aid? Because I just fell for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Boo.
number two. I'll get.
Oh.
No, that's it. No, we don't. That was enough. Done. Everybody in the chat room, give him his bowl. Give him his bowl. He's not funny.
So I'll tell you guys what when young TJ was on the dating apps back in the day, what I used back when I was on the apps. And I would say, hey, I'm sorry to bother you like this, but I just got pulled over for distracted driving, and I told the officer that I showed them your profile, and I said, I'm sorry, I was just trying to like compose this message to this beautiful person. And they told me the only way I could get out of the ticket was if you gave me your number. Is there any way you could help me get out of this ticket?
Damn.
And how many numbers did you actually get out of that?
How did that work?
Surprising success rate.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh.
I mean, that was most of the fun for the dating apps for me. I'd do it when I was bored, then I'd say some fun pickup lines and then never look at it again. And so that was the victory that I needed, but it worked.
So you'd never use the Band-Aid thing, right?
No.
Okay. Chat OpenAI, I'm sorry, you suck. Okay, go ahead.
I want you to pull something like directly out of one of the 60 romance novels you have written, and I want you to give me a nice quote from there.
Another show. I don't
Another
know.
show. Ryan,
I
give me
think I
your
have
best
any
pickup
bits
line.
Oh god. I have not been. Oh man, I've not been in the game for a while. So, God,
We are not cheaters. We don't know. We don't
I don't know pickup lines. Oh my
Proving our
god.
point.
Let's go for a classic one. Are you tired because you've been running all over my mind all day? That's
I love that.
Yeah. That made me.
I'm totally winning this one. Emma, how about you?
Yeah, I have also been out of the game for a very long time, and I never really had the confidence to go up to people. But I'd probably say, what is it? Another like classic one where it's like, did you lose your number? Here, you could have mine, or something like that.
Oh.
Or did
at
it hurt
least
when you
none
fell
of
from heaven? I don't know.
At least none of you gave a fart pickup line. There's that. You have that.
That
You're
is true.
all ahead of Zampi and Brett with that one.
Yeah.
Make sure if you're catching us on YouTube after the live show, you subscribe to the Agents of Fandom page, hit the like button. If you can find the Ticket to Reality podcast wherever you get your podcasts, so make sure you subscribe, leave a 5-star rating, write a nice little review for us. Also, check out the other podcasts in the Agents of Fandom podcast network, the soon-to-be launching Fandom Academy podcast, Agents of Fandom podcast, Listen 3000 podcast, and more to come. So we got lots of exciting things cooking over there as well. My interview with the writer and director of The Bad Batch just dropped today, so you can find that on our YouTube page as well. Lee, you had a podcast back in the day, and it's revamped. You guys are bringing it back going. Talk to me about Romance Out Loud.
I want to have you guys on. It's just pop culture craziness, silliness, and it's so funny. We resurrected it like a phoenix, and it's
Rose from the ashes.
It rose from the ashes, and we'll see what it does. I mean, we're hoping for 12 listeners. That's the stretch goal. There's dozens of listeners, so we're hoping for that. But before we go, I do want to say thoughts for Jeremy Renner, that he has a full recovery. I know Agents of Fandom. I'm a Marvel fan, so I hated to hear about that accident, but hopefully he has a full recovery.
Yeah, and thoughts and prayers for Damar Hamlin as well, because that was really upsetting to hear about.
Yep.
Yeah, that's terrifying. Apparently he is like oxygen increasing and in more stable condition than before. So very situation in the NFL football, very scary situation in the Marvel universe. On a just weird that this is kind of what triggered the memory, but on a happier, funnier note revolving Hawkeye and the Circle, Lee, I was chatting with Carlos Navarro on Twitter, who is one of the Tracksuit Mafia members. And I was saying, like, I'm watching this and I'm now just going to start referring to Marvin and Brett as the Tracksuit Mafia, because all these guys say to each other is bro. And so that was a fun little Agents of Fandom, Ticket to Reality, Circle, Hawkeye collab there, because that was absolutely hilarious when they were broing each other like that. But we got all sorts of ventures, Emma, Ryan, and I with the Agents of Fandom, Lee collabing with us at times as well as revamping this other podcast. I mean, I'm a little bitter that I barely hear from him a week, and I see he's launching another podcast on Instagram that I helped run with him, as opposed to him talking to me about it.
Wow.
But I mean,
I talked to you about it. Wow.
Shots fired.
Yeah, I
have to get that off my chest. I'm not going to say it behind your back. I'm going to say it live in front of dozens.
Dozens of people.
To all of our dozens of listeners.
That's right. Well, you're loved. I'm not letting Ticket to Reality go. I just love you guys, and so we'll just see. It's old gay men talking about stuff,
I want to come on your podcast though, because that's
you're coming.
Ryan, it's 100% all. Garrett.
I think he means Garrett. You're not allowed to.
Watch the difference in how nice Lee is to Ryan when Garrett's here. When Garrett's here to take the
someone has to be designated
only
Garrett.
compliments will be headed to Ryan's way, so that make all of this. Make sure you subscribe to all of our pods and all of those great things. We have had fun chatting with you for another edition of the Ticket to Reality podcast. We are going to be back with more guests from the Circle. I echo Michelle Ryder, Shelley Belly's comedy's sentiment from our earlier show that will be posted soon. When she was talking about Lee, she just brought up how he is one of the purest, kindest souls around. And so, although I love to give Lee some jabs all the time, it's because of that love that I feel comfortable doing it. So make sure you check out his stuff. Make sure you check out our stuff. We got big things coming. Subscribe to the Ticket to Reality podcast wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah, as CJ points
I'm
out,
excited.
The Bachelor starts again this month, which I forgot. It's just here we go again. Guess I
Yeah,
will watch
Bachelor
that.
Nation, we're back.
Absolutely.
We're back.
I need to go get a dust off the pole and get exercising. So I love you all.
Love you guys, and we will see you next week talking about the return of Shubham.
Turn of the King.
Love it.